What's up, you guys? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for clicking on today's video. So when I hear the term body positivity, and when I've used it in the past, the way that I think of it is it's a movement obviously it's a positive movement. It's a good movement. It's a movement that brings joy and that brings inclusivity to a large group of people, because obviously there is definitely an ideal body that we're supposed to be striving for. It's this body that we are supposed to have, and if you don't have that body, right, you should feel bad or you should strive for that body. So when I hear the term body positivity, and when I've used it myself, it's to show people that if you don't have the quote-unquote ideal body, with me I have a lot of loose skin, you can still feel positive about that, because you don't need to feel like you need to be perfect. So for me, body positivity has always been about including everyone in the conversation and letting everyone feel like there is nothing wrong with them and that they still deserve respect, they still deserve love, just because their body might not be quote unquote perfect. But up until yesterday, I thought that that's pretty much what everyone thought. I didn't realize there were differing opinions on this, but as you can tell by the title, obviously that's not the case. So yesterday I came across this post, and in the post it's about 10 different pictures swiping through of different people that are, sharing their insecurities and things, just showing their bodies and showing the things that maybe they're not the most proud of. But the whole reason of this post is the creator of it is kind of annoyed with what she says, thin bodies that are in the body positivity space. So I'm gonna read through the different posts, and then I'm gonna read the caption as well. I'm sorry, but I have to say it. It really bugs me that thin people are taking up a lot of space in the body positivity / self-love corner of the internet. I know I'm going to get a lot of backlash for this, but it's honestly a major thing for plus size creators. A lot of people in smaller bodies are creating content about loving the parts of their body that are deemed bad by society. Is there anything wrong with that? Not at all. Self-love for everyone. A lot of these people make big money and have great success creating this content. Also great. Yay them. The problem for me is that I've noticed for myself, as well as many other plus size creators in the same corner of the internet, is that we don't get half the recognition that slender people do. I find that most slender content creators who promote body acceptance have to distort their body in order to show off their imperfections. Everyone is allowed to be self-conscious or have problems loving parts of their body, everyone. And unlike these influencers, I can't just put away my problem areas and continue on in the world. I don't have the luxury of standing up straight or pulling up my pants and then suddenly perfectly fit society's ideal beauty standard. Unlike them, I don't have thin privilege. I can't take out my fatness when it's convenient or advantageous for me and live the rest of my day without scrutiny or being shamed. And yet these accounts have hundreds of thousands of followers, even millions. People love these accounts. It allows them to feel good about themselves without having to confront their internalized fat phobia. I could post this same photo and not get any engagement from it. Why is that? Because people inherently believe my body is bad, whether consciously or not. It's so damn hard. I would love to be able to support myself by doing what I love and help people through social media. The problem is that my body isn't palatable. But instead, as these slender influencers that are making big bucks from brand deals, creating their own fashion lines, receiving massive opportunities, instead of those living in more marginalized bodies who are portraying the same message. Want to use your slender body to promote self-love? Terrific, but also feature marginalized bodies on your account as well. Be vocal, tell your favorite influencer that it's time to pass the mic. Making a purchase through an influencer, stop and check to see if that brand has inclusive sizing. Hint, XL isn't inclusive. Diversify your feed. We don't have to only follow slender white women. Now, I know that it's a lot of reading. There's going to be a lot of different reading and sharing other people's viewpoints in this video, but I want to do my best not to take anything out of context. I want the people that are making these posts to feel like they were able to explain their points, right? And so going into the caption of that long post, she says, "Hi, hello, genuinely not trying to poop on anyone here. I really want to call people into the conversation instead of calling people out. We're all learning and growing, so please take this as helpful information instead of criticism. Please tag accounts in the comments that need to pass the mic. tag accounts that need to be more inclusive. Please share this with anyone and everyone so that we can continue to have these conversations together and make social media a slightly less crappy place to be. Edit, I recognize that I also hold massive privilege in this space. I'm white, able-bodied, cisgender, and I'm a small fat. I mentioned in my stories, but there wasn't room to add in my post, so I want to make sure I'm talking about it now. I cannot speak for people of color, and it's really important that we listen to all marginalized people and not just me. So when I first saw the post, it was just a little strange because, again, it seems like she's saying one thing, but also she's saying another thing. And there's like this really big gray area where she's saying, like, I'm not trying to call people out, but she went and took 10 different pictures from 10 different influencers and basically was saying, like, these people don't belong in this space. And but at the same time, she's saying she's not trying to call anyone out. So it's like, you're either going to be sharing these things and putting these people, basically putting them on blast to all of your followers and saying, I don't like that these people are here. You can't say that and then also be like, but I'm not trying to call them out. Like, you are trying to call them out. And if you want to do that, that's fine. But like, give us an explanation as to why you're doing that. Now, I responded to this post, and her response was the thing that really made me take a step back and be like, I've never heard anything like this. So I responded to the post and I said, I have massive amounts of loose skin. Am I allowed to post about body positivity? Why do you get to deem who gets to be body positive or not? And she responded, and all she said was, body positivity is for fat people of color. That was quite literally her entire response to me. And when I saw that, I can imagine that she was probably dealing with a lot of people that were messaging her, probably really mean things, probably a lot of support as well. Like, she was probably dealing with a lot. So maybe she was just annoyed and frustrated, but I was genuinely confused. And I had never heard anything like that. Like, the fact that she was mad at people posting about being positive about their body because they're not posting about her or about people like her, it just seems really strange to me. And then she says, again, body positivity is for fat people of color. And now I think that is so strange because, like I said at the beginning of the video, body positivity for me has always been about including as many people as possible. So it seems really strange that she would say that this is only for a very specific group of people, which I think that it is definitely for them, of course, but then just to shut out everyone. So if you're a white fat person, you're not allowed to post about body positivity. If you're a person of color but you're not overweight, you're not allowed to post about body positivity. Say you're missing a limb, you're not allowed to post about body positivity. Like, my mind just goes to, that person, maybe someone that was born with a defect, or they have really bad burns or scars on their body, and they made a post about body positivity and being positive about their body. I imagine someone coming in here that was very militant about their thoughts and saying, you cannot post about body positivity because you are not a fat person of color. The girl that made this initial post actually went and posted a whole video on her Instagram. So I'm going to play most of that. I'm not going to try and cut most of it out because, again, I want you guys to get the full context. I'm not at all trying to put words in her mouth. It is kind of long, so I'm going to speed it up just a little bit, just so we're not sitting here forever.
Hello, my name is Rafaela, and yesterday I wrote a post that has gotten a lot of engagement, which is actually really cool because that means that people are joining the conversation and more voices are being heard. So thank you for that, first of all. I just wanted to make a video because I think a lot of meaning and tone can be lost in text. So I thought I would just, show my face so that we can maybe have a bit more of a discussion about what was said and perhaps eliminate some miscommunications. So my post yesterday was practically saying that there are these influencers living in smaller bodies who have massive platforms, and they're using these platforms to help a lot of people in regards to their body image, self-esteem, all those things, which is amazing, and I love it so much. And they're doing great work, and I feel like they're really meaning well. Something that I wanted to address was that even though these influencers with large platforms are helping so many people, I see that there's a potential to use these platforms to amplify even more marginalized voices. So in this case, in my post, I was speaking directly to people who belong within the fat community, but it doesn't just end there. It goes beyond. We need to listen to people of color. We need to listen to queer people. We need to listen to people of all different limb differences, facial differences, maybe who has acne-prone skin. So I'm really not trying to say that we need less of these slender influencers in our space, because they're actually helping people, and there are people who look like them, and they're using their platform to highlight that it's okay to have these parts of our bodies that are deemed by society as like bad or like problem areas, which just isn't true. So they are really doing that amazing work. And I'm thinking maybe we can come together to hear from more people, bring more people to the table, so we're not just listening from slender white women's perspectives. And yeah, I have to acknowledge I have massive privilege as well. It's not just my voice that I want to be amplified. It's people who live in even bigger bodies than mine. In the fat community, I technically have what is called I am technically a small fat, which means I can most chairs comfortably. I've never had to ask for a seatbelt extender on an airplane, but sometimes I almost have. I can sometimes squish into straight sizes when I'm shopping, and I'm not as disrespected or dismissed by a medical professional if I'm seeking help. And I have that privilege, right? And that's something I want to recognize. Therefore, we need to listen to people whose bodies are even bigger than mine, because they deserve respect and they also deserve to be heard, as well as people of color. Honestly, it's mind-blowing how hard it is for these marginalized voices to be heard. Why not come together, hear all these different perspectives, so that we can all learn together? This isn't about finger-pointing or blaming or shaming. This is just about including all different perspectives of self-love or body acceptance and making it an even better place to be. I hope that clears up maybe some confusions. I know this is such a broad topic and we can talk forever, and that's so great. I really want to have these conversations with you.
So as you guys can see, I think in the video, she explains herself much better than she did in her original post. And honestly, it's almost like she's making a completely different point in the video than she is making in the post. But I think what's really interesting, and the thing that kind of rubbed me the wrong way and made me feel like maybe she's not being as honest as it seems like in that video, is that response that she gave to me, you know, body positivity is for fat people of color. That response was after that video went up. I hadn't seen the video yet, but she responded to me in that way, that matter-of-factly, after that video went up. And in that video, it's pretty clear that she is saying, everyone deserves to be in this space. Everyone should be doing it. Everyone should be posting about it, which I agree with. But then she responds to me specifically saying it's for fat people of color. Now, obviously, there is so much to talk about here, and I struggle with this a lot because obviously I am a white man, and like that, I am the furthest thing from that, and I always get really uncomfortable because I feel like I'm going to get attacked. I feel like I'm going to be called racist or sizist or fatphobic. Like there's so many words that I feel like can be thrown at me when I talk about these things. But I just find it to be so ridiculous that we are gatekeeping body positivity from people. A big part of her argument is talking about how we need to pass the mic and have conversations, or I should talk about other issues. But for me personally, I feel like it would be very disingenuous for me to try and act like I understand what a fat person of color is going through, or I understand what a burn victim is going through, or I understand what it's like to not have a limb, right? I can't speak about that. So obviously, when I make posts about body positivity, I'm going to talk about the fact that I am someone that used to be really overweight, lost weight, and now I have a lot of loose skin. Like, I think that that's just common sense. Now, with me saying that, am I saying that those people shouldn't speak up? Not at all. I think that the more of a conversation we have, the better. So when we make posts saying, I'm sick of these people being in the body positivity space, all that does is divide. That is not going to bring people together at all. I guess the biggest thing for me is that body positivity has always been about inclusivity, right? Making people feel like they can be included, giving people a place to share how they're feeling, and the fact that even a little bit that we're gatekeeping at all. I don't even want to say weird, that some people feel like they should be gatekeeping at all and making people feel like they're not allowed to join the club. I think it literally is the complete opposite of what at least I've always thought body positivity was. And another one of the arguments that I've heard a lot of is that the body positivity movement was founded by fat people of color, and so therefore they can kind of make the parameters of who is in the, who's in the group. And I mean, I guess maybe that could be true. I don't know how true that statement is, but at the same time, like, it makes me feel like, imagine if I started some sort of hashtag or movement and I was like, the loose skin positivity, hashtag loose skin positivity, or hashtag terryfold positivity, right? If I started that and then I saw someone that didn't look just like me, you know, say I saw a person of color using it, and I said, hey, this movement is actually only for white people that have lost 180 pounds, so you're not allowed to use that. Obviously, I would never do that, and I feel like that completely takes away from the fact that I'm trying to make people feel included. And so again, I don't understand why people would even want to gatekeep. Even if you did make this movement and start it, why do you feel like it's being taken from you when more people are joining? This video is already longer than I thought it was going to be. I have so much more to say, and I feel like there's a lot more of a conversation that could be had. I would love to have a conversation with someone that maybe disagrees with me or feels like I'm not understanding the points. I think that could be a really cool video. So if anyone wants to reach out to me on Instagram or something like that and shoot me a DM, that would be great. I would love to hear what you guys think down in the comment section down below. Obviously, this is something that I am still trying to wrap my head around. So, you know, anything down in the comment section that can kind of explain things a little bit better, that would be awesome. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. There was one other thing that I wanted to say. Oh yeah, look how buff I am. Ugh.
Obey the warning signs, and when there are flashing lights or wigwags, don't attempt to cross until they come to a complete stop.